think I'll sit. Oh, hi. I didn't see you guys there. Welcome back to another episode of the BREWSHACK show. Took a little bit of a break because, well, you can hear my baby in the background. So we've been a little bit busy here with a 9-month-old perfect customer baby. But anyway, I'm back and I'm ready to do something really fun. We'll just take a drink of this delicious IRA I brewed. Again, I brewed this. That's a cat collar. It's been a while, a little rusty, but here we go. So, I want to do another cooking episode, and I thought that I would do an episode about tortillas. Now, flour tortillas, are something that they're so easy to buy, but they're so incredibly easy to make, too. So, this is the BREWSHACK show. I have to do beer, so I'm going to make beer tortillas. And I've made tortillas a lot in the past, but I was like, there's Miles. He wouldn't go down for a nap, so I had to just, it's okay, buddy. I think he's okay. He's in his pack and play. The cats are in there. So I wanted to do a beer version of tortillas. And I was like, I've never done that before. I wonder if anyone's done it. The first thing I look up, bam, there it is, a recipe, and it's by the Baroness. If you know who the Baroness is, she's written a couple cooking books, and she actually got to brew with Fort George this last year for the Pro-Am. Roll the footage. I don't know who I'm talking to. But anyway, she was there with Jack, and they actually did a maple pecan porter, which was fantastic. But anyway, this is her recipe. I've tweaked it a little bit, based on what I like to do with tortillas. But all in all, it's pretty much the same. So what we have here is 2.5 cups of just all-purpose white flour, about a teaspoon of salt, about 3 tablespoons of butter, and then, of course, some bacon fat. If you don't keep bacon fat in your house, just turn it off now, because I don't like you. I'm joking. If you're a vegetarian, you can use any type of shortening, vegetable shortening. Butter is probably your best bet. Just gives that big, fluffy flavor. But anyway, and then the beer is... It just so happens I had some on tap, and this is it's about 3/4 cup of my IRA. So we're going to actually make some tortillas out of all this stuff. Okay, so basic thing when you're making tortillas, okay, I have this bowl just for show. I'm going to put it in this larger bowl here. So you're going to mix in your salt with your flour. Pretty simple. Oh, he's playing with his car. He's adorable. That's my boy. Will I edit that out? If I start talking baby talk, it's because I'm a dad. Okay. So another drink of beer, obviously. I was actually waiting for him to go down for a nap. Yeah, no, that wasn't happening at all. So the butter goes right in. Whoops. Boom. Then we're going to put in our bacon fat. So I keep a jar of bacon fat in my refrigerator anytime you cook bacon. I like to bake bacon, and you can get a lot of the fat that way. But anyway, you just keep it in the fridge, and it's there when you need it. I like to keep several types of animal fat rendered in my fridge at all times. Ugh. This is some kind of pastry cutter or something. But anyway, what you're going to do is you're going to cut all of that butter. I hear you, buddy. You're going to cut all of this in here until it gets into a pretty fine, coarse, that's a contradiction, a pretty coarse, almost meal type consistency. Yeah. But anyway, I'm going to say that that's pretty good. A little bit of butter in there. It's actually a lot like making flatbread. If you make flatbread, you're probably going to use yeast. In my typical tortilla recipes, I'll actually use some baking powder. But, as the Baroness points out, the beer has enough leavening properties with the wheat and the malts and the yeast that's in there. It's actually going to help us with the rising process. You don't want these to rise. I mean, you're not going to use yeast or anything like that. So anyway, I'm going to make a little bit of a well in the middle of here. Move this for the camera. And then we're going to pour in our beer. Oh yeah. And then I like to get down and dirty as much as the next person, but I also like to, I'll have to wash my hands. So I'm going to mix this with a fork a little bit. And basically, ooh, it smells good. Bacon and beer tortillas? Get the hell out. At some point, you just got to get your hands in there. And you're going to knead this in pretty good. Don't use a hand or a stand mixer or anything like that. Save the KitchenAid for the cookies. Okay? For tortillas, oh my God, you can smell that bacon in there. It smells fantastic. So I'm going to knead this, and then we'll come back and I'll start rolling it into the balls. He said balls. All right, back in a minute. Ow! I just jabbed my hand with a fork. Bless you. Bless you. Goodness gracious, welcome back. All right, so we've kneaded our dough a little bit. It's on a need-to-know dough basis. I just made that up, and I immediately regret it. All right, keep it down, peanut gallery. All right, so we've kneaded our dough. The next thing we want to do is actually just portion this out. So I like my tortillas big, so I'm going to go a little bit, probably the size of a small lemon. Okay, you're just going to roll this out in a ball, and what you're going to do is you're going to let those rest. You're going to let the gluten relax because it's had a little too much. Just chill out, gluten. So anyway, we put the dough through a lot of strain by balling it up and kneading it, and you know, it's like a relationship. You know, you don't just keep pestering them. Just let them go for a little bit. That's Miles telling me that Jamie's going to be extremely customer woman. Man, I keep saying their names. It's customer... Parenting. Am I right, people? Huh? Anyway, looks like I'm going to get about 6 tortillas out of this bad boy, which is perfect. So once you've rolled out... we'll make 2 small ones here. So, balls. So, you want to let these rest for about a half an hour just to let that gluten relax. Let it rise a little bit. Put a towel on top of those. I wasn't telling you to do it personally. I'm just saying, let them rest. All right. Okay, back in a moment. All right, so we're back. Our tortillas balls have rested. Balls. So, what we're going to do now, on a lightly floured surface, is we are just going to simply roll these bad boys out. Now, you can use a tortilla press, but it's one of those things, and, you know, Alton Brown talks about it a lot, about those devices that can only do one thing. And a tortilla press is that. I mean, all I can do is press tortillas or smash things down. So, use a rolling pin. Okay? We're going to get this pretty thin, and now I've got a cast iron skillet heated very hot. So, I make my tortillas kind of big, because I like big flour tortillas. And it's not going to take a lot of time in there, about medium, high heat, but what you get to do is, while you're doing that, cooking them on there about a minute or so per side, is you get the next one going. And that's the whole thing. You get that next tortilla going, so it's ready to go right when you're done. So I'm just going to cook these up and probably do a little montage while this is going on. Close-ups and such. Whoops! My rolling skills are amazing. Oh, and there it goes. It's starting to bubble up in the pan. That's when you know you've got a good tortilla. These are a little bit, since I did a red ale, these are a little bit darker than the tortillas I usually make, so that's really cool. But there's no wheat flour in there. That's just all purpose white. So when it starts bubbling up like this, obviously be very careful. That's a cast iron skillet. Flip it once. You'll notice you'll get those nice little brown spots right there forming up. And it's just going to bubble up, and get ready. It's going to be good. And I had a line I wanted to say at the beginning of the episode, but I forgot to. And obviously, when you make these, you can substitute water for beer, but water is boring. Use beer. I also like to pretend this is a mini pizza dough. And I toss it. Hey. Hey. Alright. So I think this tortilla is done. Check the other side. Oh, it's perfect. Alright. So that's going to go on just a towel. I've got a plate lined with a towel. And then you just simply do your next one. And that's it. We come back, we'll try some of these bad boys. Also, I got another beer. Pinky extended. I earned this beer and tortilla, I'll tell you that. Now thinking back on it, you could probably substitute beer for any recipe that calls for water. Just saying. Pasta. Stock. Anything. Anyway. Amazing time cooking tortillas. And just so you can look, I mean, what? Shut up. I mean, look at this thing. You're actually going to go out and buy tortillas after you've seen this. It's simple. And then this is how I was raised. A perfect tortilla. Just a little bit of butter. Alright, a little bit more butter than a little. No margarine. If you use margarine, you're not only cheating yourself, you're cheating everyone that you care about. And just a hint of nice salt. And that's it. And then obviously, you make pork, you make pulled pork, you know, as I often do, but I grew up in Oklahoma, you know, Tex-Mex. You know, this is it. I mean, a tortilla with butter and just a little bit of salt. It's simple. It's amazing. It's already got butter in it, but... Mmm. Oh, wow. Mm-hmm. So that's fucking amazing. Mmm. Mmm. I'm not going to stand here and eat this whole thing on camera, but... Let me ask you one simple question. Do you care about yourself? Doesn't matter. You should. And if you care about your family, don't go buy those Mission tortillas in the grocery store or the supermarket. It's flour, salt, butter, and either water or beer. Canola oil if you're vegetarian. Make them at home. Eat at home. God's sakes. Take a little pride. I'm just playing. But seriously, they're so easy to make and they're so delicious. So, God, that's good. Nothing, and I tell you, nothing beats a fresh flour tortilla at home. Mmm. Oh, I can taste the beer. Well, thanks for tuning into the BREWSHACK show. And again, this recipe tweaked it a little bit, but this is the beerness right here. I mean, she's one step ahead of me, damn it. Give her a like on the Facebook and the Twitter and the Instagram. Also follow me. And maybe I just started a cooking war with her. I would lose, but I could brew. Damn it, she brews too. But... Alright. Anyway, Nooner out. Love you guys. I don't know why I said that. Mmm. Oh my God. I'm going to put meat in this thing.